Well, deepfakes are now going viral, and there's concern about how that might impact the 2024 presidential election because images that look incredibly real turn out to be completely fake. Experts now raising concerns about artificial intelligence being used to spread misinformation about politics, especially those 2024 presidential hopefuls.
Yeah, and how about a time for that? AI-generated political disinformation has already gone viral, like this one. Fake images of former President Trump being arrested and taken away in cuffs. Again, artificial intelligence can produce targeted campaign emails. They can produce text or videos, again, for the campaigns. It's also used to mislead voters, impersonate candidates, and undermine elections on a major scale. It could have a huge impact on voters, and especially some that can't understand or tell the difference. That's what we're here to talk to Sam Gregory about. He's the executive director of Witness.org. Sam, thank you so much for answering the call. This is potentially scary stuff here when you have major elections coming up and this boom of AI. What do you make of this? Could this really have an impact on elections moving forward?
Yeah, so we're seeing really rapid progress in the ability to fake images and audio, and you showed those examples of a supposed arraignment of former President Trump. And the reason to worry, and we've had panics before about deepfakes in the last several elections in the US, is that it's got so much easier to do this, right? It's got so much easier to fake a piece of audio that sounds kind of realistic, to fake images just by literally writing a sentence into a computer program to create an image like the ones you see on screen. And this makes it much more accessible to use these for fun, which is how a lot of people are using them, but also for mischief in the elections.
Yeah, well, to your point, there's been this clip surfacing online. It's taken from The Office. It's obviously a hit TV show. But take a closer look at the character played by Steve Carell. You might recognize a familiar face. Here's that.
This is too good.
You know what? Pam, would you please tell Daryl that this is not a woman's suit?
Oh my God, that's a woman's suit.
You're wearing a woman's suit?
No, I do. I wear men's suits, okay? I got this out of a bin. There were these huge bins of clothes, and everybody was rifling through them like crazy, and I grabbed one. And it fit. So I don't think that this is totally just a woman's suit. At the very least, it's bisexual.
Okay, so clearly you recognize this is The Office. Clearly you know that Ron DeSantis is not Michael Scott. This one's obvious, right? But seriously, Sam, are there some concerns about maybe a less recognizable TV show being mocked?
So you're putting your finger on something that I don't think we should be worried about, right? I think we understand this type of deepfake is a joke, right? It's satire and political expression. And I think even in a less well-known TV show, we're going to be okay. I think what's worrying is when people create deceptive videos and they share them and they claim to show political candidates saying something, or they release audio, and a lot of this is just audio, it's not actually the video, and then it gets shared and seen a lot, and then afterwards, for example, people say that was a joke or parody, and it really wasn't. It was an attempt to deceive people. So I think that's where we've really got to look in this upcoming election, is not the really obvious ones where people are, parodying TV shows and parodying each other in the political sphere, but how people use deceptive audio and video and put it out there, and then maybe after the fact they say you didn't get the joke.
Yeah, and the obvious one, or maybe not so obvious to some, was the Pope in a puffer jacket. Very nice puffer jacket here, by the way. Again, a deep fake. This is not real. But there are people that share things that don't know. They don't know because it has become so flawless, at least using some AI technology that could generate quality images like this one here specifically. I believe there was one in Paris that showed the this big rainbow statue that moved through, and it got shared so many times. It was a video generated picture, but many thought it was real and reacted to it. So I guess my final question is, how do you recognize fact from fiction?
Yeah, and this is the point, right? Even funny or satirical or even intended just as a joke type deepfakes can get shared really quickly, and they lose their context and people believe them. And I think the problem we have here is a lot of the guidance we give people is like, look at the pixels. You know, in the case of the Pope, they said he's got his ring on the wrong hand. And I was like, I don't know what hand the Pope wears his signet ring on. I would not have noticed that when I saw this in my, my social media feeds. So I think actually what we've got to tell people is it's actually media literacy in the short run, right? Don't try and guess whether something's AI generated. It's got super easy to make realistic images like the ones we're seeing. You know, there are some clues, right? Often they look a little synthetic. Often maybe the hands are distorted. But actually, it's probably better to take a step back and say, is someone trying to tweak my emotions? You know, can I find out who shared this? Can I go back to the original and see if it exists? In the long run, we'll get better detection tools. In the short run, we've got to go back to our own media literacy.
Yeah. All right. You got to create the detection tools now. That's another industry. Sam Gregory, thanks so much for coming on. Very insightful. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.